Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. And if you want to help this channel out, which I would greatly appreciate, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Capricorn. How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading. Think of this spread as a tree. The branches here, the trunk, and the roots right here. So this is going to be the energy that supports us, that grounds us, that sustains us during this time. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena and the public self. We have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. So at the root of us, supporting us, is quite contrasting energy, and it's beautiful energy that is all about the completion of a cycle, mentally and emotionally. One leads us towards our dream, the other lets us know that we're resurrecting in a way that we hadn't anticipated and might not be as comfortable with as we would like to be. In our inner self, we have the 9 of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty, abundance, and the 3 of Pentacles. Collaboration, working together, claiming the work that we've done, not letting others take credit for what we have accomplished within our lives and within ourselves. Then we have the 7 of Wands. Emotionally, we're going to be very much on the defensive, and we have to know when to protect ourselves and when to step back and say, you know what, that battle is not worth my energy or my time, and I'm not giving it. I'm just not. And then we have the King of Wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This full moon, which is one of the most powerful full moons of the year, is in Sagittarius, so that fire energy really comes forward. We see a completion within our devouring of the wisdom of who we are, of where we want to be, of what we are developing within our lives, with the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail, us consuming the wisdom that we've gained through the knowledge of living. We then have the Page of Wands. We are a student of this energy, of this becoming. We're asking questions, we're pushing boundaries. And then we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is needing to honor the path that we have been on, the road that we have walked, the hardships, the pains, the disappointments, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals, and being very honest, very truthful, and very aware of who we have been along this journey of life. Because we're going to be very harsh on ourselves and say, this is what I want, this is where I'm going, this is what I desire, period, end of discussion. And that's going to be well and good. Capricorn, we're very good at looking at things, at going after things, at being very practical. But we also have to be logical in the acceptance of the road that we have walked, the trauma that we have been through, the hardship that we have faced, the hurt that we have seen, the emotions that we are gaining an understanding of. Now, this full moon is very beautiful. It is, again, one of the most powerful moons of 2021. It is called the flower moon because the Native Americans named it because of the flowers that bloom in May. It is a time of us blooming and of us becoming. And it's in Sagittarius, which says, look at the bigger picture. That's going to be our theme during this time. Look at the bigger picture. This is the biggest, the brightest moon of the year, and its energy is astoundingly strong. It is the second supermoon and the moon that is closest to the Earth. And that increases its power. But it also has a lunar eclipse, which brings a blood moon forward. And these are both extremely rare. It's a total lunar eclipse, so that makes it even rarer. This is a moon that is amplified by the lunar eclipse, and it's a moon that we want amplified by the lunar eclipse. If you are born on the cusp with Sagittarius, you will be more affected than the Capricorns who aren't born on the cusp by Sagittarius. So do be mindful of that if that's where your birthday falls. This is a moon that is optimistic, that is positive, that is laid back and seeking adventure and wisdom, and is a part of discovery. The full moon in Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and this is a time to laugh rather than to judge. And so when we look at the bigger picture, it's not looking at things in condemnation. It's looking at things in wonderment, in beauty, in idealistic emotion. But we have to be mindful of that idealistic emotion because it can exaggerate things. Our emotions play off things really, really well during this time, and it can be a little bit too much for us. Now, with this moon in Sagittarius, the sun is in Gemini. These are sister signs, and just as sisters in real life, these can be the best of friends and work the absolutely most beautifully together, together, or they can be as sisters can be, and be the ones that can rip you down the most, can be the ones that call you out the most, say the exact wrong thing at the exact right time. And so here we have to be mindful of the way these energies play together, the way these energies interact together, and the way that we hold ourselves during this time. With the lunar eclipse, the energies that are going to be, the signs that are going to be most affected by the lunar eclipse on the 26th of May and by the solar eclipse on the 10th of June, which is the new moon, which is the time of the new moon. These are going to be the signs of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. So where these show up within your chart, these part of our personalities are going to come out more and more, going to be more prevalent. So just be mindful of that. The moon is squared Jupiter during this time. So it's a time to be mindful of the news and the revelations that come our way. Because again, things are going to be exaggerated. And because we are coming off of a place of emotions and out of a place of emotions that can easily play into exaggeration, we need to be mindful of this. We need to be mindful of when we're being played and how we're being played. You know, how the puppeteers are pulling the strings. And this is actually going to be a time where we are very aware of the puppeteers pulling the strings. And Capricorn, we're going to be really kind of focusing on what we can do to free ourselves, to mobilize ourselves forward. Jupiter is a wonderful time. With Jupiter squared, okay, it is a wonderful time to start creating, to embrace our visions, to look at what it is that we desire. And with the lunar eclipse, we start to see things coming to a head. And because the lunar eclipse happens in Sagittarius, things become very profound in the way that we need them to be. So that didn't come out quite well. So Sagittarius moves us towards the truth. we start to be guided towards truth, towards discovery, towards becoming, towards understanding. And with this truth, we start to see ourselves more openly, more honestly, and we start to see the points in our lives that need profound change. We might actually find ourselves during this moon, a bit before this moon, very guided towards a lifestyle that we may think is, just something that we never thought would fit us. We're like, oh my goodness, this seems absurd, but it's so right to me. This is also going to be a time where the messages from Spirit really start coming in profoundly. We need to slow things down and let the fire sign of Sagittarius shine, but not create the bonfire that overpowers us all. So just be mindful of that. Conclusions are within reach because we're seeing things so differently and we're seeing things so profoundly. The supermoon means that emotions run high, and with the moon in Sagittarius already inclined to higher emotions, this can be intense, this could be more than what we want it to be, but it is also a time where our emotions start to attract to us what we need, what we desire, and what we are longing for. What we focus on within our mind, it's very much kind of like the magician during this time. What we focus on is what we get. As above, so below. What we think, so it becomes. And the supermoon brings us what we are thinking about. If we're thinking, I can't believe I'm such a failure, I can't believe, I'm working so hard and I'm so disillusioned, we will get more of that. If we believe, I can't believe I found my path, I can't believe I know the way that I want to walk, I can't believe I am inspired and emboldened and creating, we will get more of that. So just be very mindful. Be very mindful of the law of attraction, the energy vibration elements of a supermoon, but also of life in general. We tend to get what we think about, the energy that we put out, even if that energy is unintentional, even if we've been through a great trauma, a great hurt, a great pain within our lives, and that the thought of it sneaks into our brain when we're having quiet moments. We need to look at the energy vibration of our existence and tell trauma that it doesn't get to play the lead role in our lives anymore. There's something very powerful about that here, Capricorn. It leads us to the new moon on the 10th of June, which is a solar eclipse. So again, this is amplified. It's in Gemini with the sun and both the new moon. So this is going to be a time where communication is absolutely paramount. We can find that we need to speak. Before, we might have been okay with just stepping back, with just looking at things, discovering ideas, greater understandings, thinking things through. Here is a time where we need to tell the stories, where we need to start expressing ourselves, where we need to put into words what we are thinking. And a solar eclipse always brings new beginnings, and the unexpected comes first through the mind. So here, when we have communication is key, it's communicating with our angels, with our spirit guides, with divinity, with the way that we see the divine within us, but also the way that we see the divine within the world. So that's going to be very powerful, and it moves us to the full moon in Capricorn. The full moon in Capricorn, which is going to be very powerful for us Capricorn because we are Capricorns, comes on the 24th of June. And this is a time where it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. And this is a time where the abstraction of the full moon in Sagittarius, the new moon in Gemini, comes to the sturdy, stable, reliable, practical Capricorn energy. And this is a time where we start putting into practice the optimism that we've seen, the non-judgmental attitudes that we've adopted, the positivity, the adventure that we've been on, the wisdom that we've acquired, and we start seeing how we can plant these seeds within the earth and within ourselves. And what type of soil are we? So I know that sounds funny, and it maybe even sounds a bit whimsical, but when we look at ourselves and say, am I a forest? Am I a desert? What do I want to plant within me? Do I need to plant cacti, or do I need to plant pine trees? Or, am I going to be a fruit garden? Am I going to be a vegetable garden? Am I going to be a flower garden? What is it that when I plant within my soul makes me feel alive? And it doesn't mean that we can't change the gardens that we are. It means that right now, what are we planting? And what is that nourishment? What is that beauty coming forward? It leads us to the spirit animals of May and of June. And the spirit animals of May are the beaver spirit and the elk spirit. We have the stag spirit standing in because Of course, I do not have an elk card, but the elk spirit says that we're entering into a time of plenty. That's what the elk spirit symbolizes. And that everything you need, you will get. Not everything you want, but everything you need. And that's profound. When we have here the stag spirit stepping in, that's because it says take a leap. Take that leap. Take the leap. Go for it. Go after it. Try. Because if we're being represented, and if we have the elk spirit protecting us during this time, or at least guiding us in some abstract way into a time of plenty, showing us that there's more here than we could ever have imagined, why are we afraid? What are we holding back from? The beaver spirit says lay a solid foundation. The beaver spirit represents a time of creativity. It is a time of accomplishment through cooperation, which is going to be paramount to our inner selves. Motivation to a jump start. Motivation to jump start things, to get things going. So that's May. And in June, we have the beautiful spirit animals of the deer spirit and the eagle spirit. And the deer spirit is my favorite spirit animal because it is just so calm. I just feel so drawn to this during this time. And it says, bring a gentle touch in a world where everybody's yelling at everybody else, where it almost seems to be a game of who could be more outraged, who can be more angry, who could be more everything. When the deer spirit says, bring a gentle touch, move forward in harmony and peace, connect with the heart, the soul, and the self. That is powerful. Walk gently upon this earth. And it does not mean that if you walk gently, you do not walk profoundly. The deer spirit symbolizes sensitivity, intuition, gentleness, and fertility. Because when you aren't stressed out, when you look at the world and you step back from it and say, I'm not responsible for every single human being upon this earth. I'm responsible for my feet upon this earth. Then you can start to create. You can start to be more fertile in real life, in creativity, in thoughts. It's something to really look at. It's something to embrace, if you want to. And if you don't, if you're not there yet, that's okay too. In Buddhism, the deer symbolizes harmony, happiness, peace, and longevity. Because again, if you have peace, if you're harmonized, if you're living gently, things are prolonged. Then we have the eagle spirit. In Native American culture and beliefs, this is a bird strongly linked with the Creator and seen as the messenger. It represents leadership and authority. It is symbolic with courage, strength, and wisdom. And it says here, let spirit be your guide. No, it says spirit has your back. Spirit has your back because it can guide you in ways that you cannot imagine. Spirit has your back because it can fly higher and see more clearly than we ever can. It moves us to our chakra message for this time. Capricorn. How will Capricorn be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Listening. The throat chakra. It's a time for us, Capricorn, to listen, to take things in, to see, to comprehend, to become more. And it's not through the endless talking that our world loves. It's through the listening to the birds sing, the listening to ourselves, but also to those that we love, to what Spirit is telling us, and having these terribly interesting conversations with Spirit. But it's also embracing the world of quiet instead of the world of constant talking. It's also going to be to listen to our surroundings, to listen to the world that we're living in, instead of always being on our phones, always, having to be somewhere else, being in the here and the now, and seeing how that moves us, how that guides us. Because at our root, we have the end of a cycle, emotionally and mentally. Emotionally, this starts opening up to us what we love, what we adore, what we want, what we long for. And again, I do see this as being quite different than where we thought we would stand, what we thought we would want, where we thought we would be. The Ten of Swords then leads us to this place of, I'm not the person I once was. I don't stand in the beliefs or in the ideas or, in the mindset that I once did. And I've been through so much that the idea of going backwards, even if it is completely alluring because life was easier, it's it's almost like my soul can't, because I have won this. I have fought for this. I have risen from despair for where I am now, and because of what I have been through. And there's a power here that just cannot be ignored. There's a sense of the adult within us mirroring the child within us. There's a need for play. Play is so important. And the thing that we forget is that we cannot play as human beings if we do not feel safe. So if we're somewhere and we can let out a belly laugh, if we are somewhere and we can start imagining, playing, just having fun, letting go, it means that we are somewhere where we feel safe, even if it's just for a moment. And it's taking those safe moments and it's accumulating them within us. It's following them. It's being guided by them. It's embracing them. And it moves us to the 9 of Pentacles within our inner self, prosperity and abundance. This is looking at the bigger picture, but not being caught up in being too far-sighted, right? This is looking at the bigger picture of the hard work, the time, the effort that we've put into things now. The fact is that the hawk is hooded. So the hawk is unhooded when they are to fly, when they are to hunt, when we are partaking in falconry. What we are seeing now is that we're seeing the hawk hooded so that it can bond, but not fly off course. So during this time, we need to look at what is before us. We need to celebrate what is before us and not get off track by looking at too much, taking in too much, going after too much. This is a job well done. Take in the job well done and celebrate it. Celebrate the self, celebrate the soul, celebrate what we have developed. And revel in it now, because there's going to be more hard work to come. But there's a sense of prosperity here. Wealth, or something we value as much as money, coming forward. It leads us to the Three of Pentacles. This is working together. This is collaboration. This is a sharing of ideas. Now, this can be inspiration through people that don't even know that they're inspiring us, which is really quite beautiful. But this is also saying that when we work with others, when we collaborate with others, when we come together, do not let others steal the glory of what you are saying. Stand in the power and the brilliance that you bring forward, and let it be, let it shine from you. And don't let other people take credit for what you yourself have done. It leads us then to emotionally, at first feeling like we have so much to fight for. We have so much that needs to be defended. The thing with the 7 of Wands is that life can be an endless battle. And we all know when our lives become an endless, exhausting battle. We don't have enough to give to ourselves, to our loved ones, to, anything except the fight. And that becomes very draining. It makes us old before our time. It gives us a cynical outlook on things. What this is saying is it's saying step back. It's saying look at what you stand for. Look at what you desire. And don't step on every stone. Don't fight every fight. Fight what needs to be fought for. And then just step back from the rest of it. The seven of Wands promotes the sense and the old saying of beware the anger of a kind man. Because it is a person who is kind that is slow to anger. And here it's being slow to anger. It's being slow to have the temper flare up. But when it does, it means something. It's kind of like the person who always yells. If the person is always yelling, then when they yell, you don't listen to them. It's like the boy who cried wolf. When he cries wolf and there are no wolves there, nobody takes him seriously. And then when he cried wolf and there was a wolf there, because he had sought the attention so many times, nobody came. This is a time where we look and say, what do I want? What am I standing for? What do I desire? Where do I need to be? And what am I fighting for? Battles that are worth it and battles that aren't. It's kind of like that thing where it says, if you don't remember this in 5 years, don't fight over it. The King of Wands is passion and determination, focus and insight. There's more that we are coming forward for. There's more that we are becoming that needs our attention. And we're going to be distracted by petty battles, petty differences, angers, doubts, fears, chaos, hurts, even things where we're sabotaging ourselves. And we start to get very mad because we're calling ourselves out because, the Sagittarius full moon is all about the truth. And so this is saying, be mindful, stand your ground, know what you're fighting for, and do not let others take you off course. Because there's wisdom, there's passion, there's power. There's a sense of, in our hearts, if we listen, our wisdom will guide us forward, our wisdom will open up the doors, and our wisdom will lead us places that we didn't think we could go. This is not being afraid to roll up our sleeves, to get our hands dirty, to look at things in a very different light, in a very powerful light, and be very, very insightful. Emotionally, if we step back and look at things with an emotional understanding, we are going to see that our fire and our passion is there. The reason for getting out of bed in the morning, the call of the soul. And if we listen, it will guide us in a direction that seems rather remarkable to us. And because we have the Knight of Wands here, and not the Knight, the King of Wands here, others see it within us. Emotionally, people see that fire within us, that passion, that beauty, that power. They'll either love it or they will not. And that's them. It's not us. Again, it's knowing the battles to fight and the battles to just simply let go, because you're never going to change that person, because they do not want to change themselves. It leads us to the Page of Wands in the public arena. We are students. We are students. We don't have that consumption of wisdom in the public arena as we do in the heart self, in the emotional self. So wisdom is guiding us within our emotions. There's a transformation that's very powerful during this time. The sense of, I'm becoming more than what I realized I could be. And as a page, now this can be talking about a child that guides us in a way that gives us information that says something astoundingly profound. And it's like, oh my goodness, I never thought about things like that before. But this is also a sense of looking at things in a passionate, real, benevolent way. This is a sense of asking the questions, seeking, discovering, being a student. If you are a student, what is it, in Buddhism or in Taoism, I forget where it is, where it says if you are constantly a student, and of course I'm paraphrasing, you will forever learn and you will forever become. And that is what human beings should be. And that's what we're embracing here, this learning, this becoming, this pushing the boundaries, this gaining an understanding. And we're doing a lot of it in a public arena by looking back, by looking at everything that we've been through, hardships, pains, disappointments, hurts, despairs, and seeing the power within us, seeing and honoring the path that we have been on. If we do not honor the path we've been on, if we do not look at that and say, this is my history, how has my history shaped me, we will make the same mistakes over and over again, and we will become very discouraged. So I want to see here, what is the blessing that Capricorn needs to take in? What is the blessing that Capricorn needs to take in? What is the blessing that Capricorn needs to take in? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. The Queen of Swords and the Emperor. It is the fact that you are a warrior during this time. The Emperor is representative of Aries in the major arcana. Aries is the god of war within Greek mythology. And then we have the Queen of Swords, which is the warrior queen. This is a honing of skills. This is a looking at the bigger picture. This is sacrifice and fortitude and effort and time and responsibilities. So the blessing that is coming in is what makes us a ruler of our own existence, of where we want to be, of what we are fighting for, of what we desire. This is a time where a crown is placed upon our heads. And it's up to us to decide what we do with it. Do we acknowledge it? Do we embrace it? Or do we turn away from it? Because it is, all in all, our choice. How does this moon? How does this moon affect the power of Capricorn? How does this moon affect the power of Capricorn? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It brings the unexpected. It's unexpectedly being crowned. It's unexpectedly having this power come forward. It's unexpectedly collaborating in a way that you never thought you would. It's the unexpected that comes, and it pushes us forward in a way that takes our breath away, that takes our soul away at times, that makes us think, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Why am I here? What do I want? And it starts to show us a path that we can walk because we are the warrior. We are this powerful guiding force, this force of knowledge and insight and ideas and determination. And it brings that to us in the most unexpected ways. What is the power this moon gives Capricorn? What is the power this moon gives Capricorn? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Don't let your past hold you back. Your past is the springboard. But what's going to happen here is the power comes from our past. It comes from looking at the bigger picture. It comes from the heightened emotional state of this moon, of our passions, of our desires, of the rarity, of the honesty, of the benevolence, and the pushing of boundaries and non-judgmentalness. It comes forward and it says, don't let the past hold you back. Don't let how we are defined constantly define us. So we could say, don't let the past hold us back. It can be past trauma, past hurts, past pains, but it can also be everything that has defined us up till now. And saying, well, this is my past. This is all the baggage I carry. This is my starting ground. What Spirit is saying is step out of that battle, step out of that fight, put the crown on your head and embrace the passion, embrace the might, because this is a moon that wants you to wear the crown, Capricorn, that wants you to embrace your talents, your passion, your beauty, your insight, your ideas, and wants them to shine. To use the skills that you have honed, that you have worked a lifetime for and with, and let them be your guiding force. What does Capricorn need to stop fighting against? What does Capricorn need to stop fighting against? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Page of Wands. So interesting. We need to stop fighting against the learning, the discovering, the ideas, the sense of I don't know everything. And that's okay. So much of our world makes us think, we're supposed to have all the answers all the time. It's like, no, stop fighting against being the student. Stop fighting against the discoveries. Stop fighting and see what comes. And it's so interesting that it's another fire sign energy that comes forward. It's the passion, it's the fire, it's the intensity. How does this moon affect Capricorn emotionally? How does this moon affect Capricorn emotionally? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This one. Fruition. It brings to fruition emotionally what we are thinking about, what we are focusing on, and what we are concentrating on. It brings to fruition more than we imagined. How does this moon bring to fruition Capricorn's emotional desires? How does this moon bring to fruition Capricorn's emotional desires? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The answers you need are coming. It brings you the answers, not all at once, but slowly and steadily. As, what is it, the quote from John Green, where he says, I fell in love like you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. Well, that is going to be how the answers come to you, slowly and all at once, as soon as you start letting go, as soon as you stop thinking, I need the answers now, but say, I'm on this journey. Where will it take me? What is the student energy that Capricorn needs to embrace? What is the student energy that Capricorn needs to embrace? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So the student energy, where we're looking to define the Page of Wands, gave us the student energy of the Page of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But it is is understanding, it is questioning, it is seeking, it is discovering, it is learning the power of our voice and our mind and our breath and our bodies and who we are and where we want to be and where we need to be and what we are developing within ourselves and what we are running away from. And it's all the questions and it's all the answers we thought we had. And it's everything. It's the jumble of words of expression. It's the jumble of words of questions and doubts and of fears. That's the student that we are. And it all connects with our passion, with our hopes, with our dreams, with our desires. How does this moon teach Capricorn? How does this moon teach Capricorn? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Through protection. Through letting you know that you are safe. It is that jubilance. It is that benevolence that comes forward. It's that protection. It's that safety. It's that expression. It's knowing that you are cared for. And it's letting that energy be a part of you. How does this moon protect Capricorn? How does this moon protect Capricorn? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Confidence is key to success. It's looking at the past with the Four of Swords. It's looking at the past, the hurts, the pains, the disappointments, the heartbreak. It's knowing that we are protected enough to look at our past, to look at the words that have defined us, and look at the words that are defining us, and look at the barriers that we are breaking down, and the passions and the ways that we are moving forward. And it's knowing that confidence is key to success. That confidence, that understanding, that passionate development is key to our success. And it's being a bit brave. It's letting that fire shine through, and it's really going for it. What is the energy that Capricorn needs to be mindful of? What is the energy that Capricorn needs to be mindful of during the May 2021 full moon? What is the energy that Capricorn needs to be mindful of during the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides. It's the King of Wands. It's the fire that blesses us will also be the fire that burns us. And so the gift is also the curse, as is often the case. Our greatest blessing is also our greatest weakness. And that's what we have to be mindful of. We have to be mindful of not letting our temper get the best of us. We have to be mindful of not being so focused on the goal that we forget everything else. The subconscious energy to be mindful of is the star. This is Aquarius energy. This is making wishes our dream. This is making wishes our life. This is saying that if only when. And instead of looking at the here and now and saying, this is where I stand, this is where I am now, this is what I want, and this is what I'm developing. So be very mindful of the dream of it outweighing the reality of it. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is rebirth. The Earth Star Chakra, change and development, being reborn, breaking out of a cocoon. This is the Earth Star Chakra is located 6 inches below our feet. This is the energy that grounds us, connects us with the earth itself. And this is seeing us transformed by that connection and by the breaking out of the darkness that comes. The subconscious Luna message begins with balance. This moon balances us. It calls things forward that were out of balance. It has us looking at things more openly, more honestly, more intensely, seeking the balance within ourselves, what we desire. It then moves us to your commitment is being tested. What you have committed yourself to, what you had thought you want is being tested. More is coming forward. It leads us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Knight of Wands. Again, that fire sign energy coming in. The sense of looking always towards the past with our passion, with our desires, thinking if I could change the past, then I could change the future. But the past is what it is. And now we need to learn from it and move forward in it fiercely and distinctly. It brings us then to our subconscious tarot message for this whole entire reading. And that is the Two of Swords. That's understanding that there is a greater road to walk than the one we thought we would be walking. There are more paths opening to us than what we thought we would have. And it's respecting that. And it's saying, I don't need to fit into the box. I get to pave my way. And that is beautiful. All right, Capricorn, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power of this beautiful, rare supermoon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn, and may you have a blessed moon.